This is a brief presentation about supported RTT, which is Return to Training program, and I'm Kamakshi Kari, lead for support RTT. I just wanted to give you a brief summary of this program. We all are aware that many trainees take time out of training for a number of reasons, which can often vary in duration. And the aim of support RTT is mainly to improve the return to training experience for all trainees who have been out of training for at least 3 months or more. But we could apply for shorter duration for a month also where applicable, and where the needs are identified for a particular trainee. The support RTT scheme is available for those who are taking time out and returning for following reasons, and there could be one of the several of these categories which have been enlisted below. It could be parental leave, it could be out of program for research, or it could be a career break, or out of program for experience, or out of program training. It could be unplanned or planned sick leave, and it could also be restrictions to practice or suspension and returning to training. And it could also be a case where postgraduate medical trainees have accepted a training program but have deferred the start of their training program. And it's also applicable to trust grade doctors who have secured a training program post. What is the purpose of support RTT? Regardless of the reason for which they have taken leave, returning back into training can be a difficult and daunting experience. It could be a stressful time. Health Education England, school, and the host trust should be able to support and guide the trainee through this process. This is the video link which takes you to the Deanery website, where you can see for any updates or any further information that you may want to check. Now, if it's a planned leave, you have to complete planning your leave form approximately 3 months prior to the planned leave date. And approximately 3 months prior to your return date, you also complete the pre-return form. And approximately 2 weeks after your return, you have to complete the return review form after arranging return to training meeting with college tutor or educational supervisor. If it's an unplanned leave, at the earliest opportunity that you can, inform training program director and also program dean and complete the planning your leave form. As soon as the intended return date is known, complete the pre-return form. Approximately 2 weeks after your return, complete return review form. So this is the basic outline of the process, and as I mentioned before, pre-absence, you plan your leave and submit the form, and there are processes in place like KIT, which is keeping in touch, and split, which is shared paternal leave in touch, and SRTT, which is support review of RTT. So there are leaves which can be looked into, and courses which you can attend to, and which can be sponsored by the trust and HEE, and but you need to identify the objectives and what the learning needs are, and then fill up the relevant forms and complete the pre-return form and then the post-return form. As mentioned, if funding is needed to support, then it can be looked into, and you need to complete the course approval request form and follow employer's process to claim expenses. Also, you have to inform the lead for support RTT if you have applied for any expenses, so that we can incur the expenses from the HEE by submitting the invoices. Pre-absence. It is recognized that some trainees leave training for unforeseen circumstances, but in the majority of the cases, trainees are aware that they are going to be taking some time out of their training beforehand, which is identified before a certain period of time. In the 8 to 12 weeks leading up to your time out of training, it is recommended that a meeting takes place with your supervisor of specific specialty to make a plan for time out of training and also subsequent return. Using the pre-absence form to guide you, this meeting should include discussions on the following: how long you will be planning to be out of training if it is known, and where will the trainee be returning to training if it is known. Note, it is strongly recommended that where possible the trainee returns to the same trust they worked prior to their absence, but this may not be the case always. And also, please, you need to identify ways in which trainee may wish to keep in touch and stay informed during the timeout period, including ensuring an up-to-date email address that is shared if trainee agrees to be contacted. Options for return to training activities which may be helpful to trainee as the trainee approaches return to training date should be identified. And also this can be based on the support RTT guideline. Planning return to training. In the weeks prior to your return, meet the college tutor with or without educational supervisor as applicable. To give an example, in surgical specialty, trainee in ENT may meet the college tutor along with the educational supervisor in ENT, but a trainee in general surgery may meet only the college tutor. The meeting can help to plan for the remaining weeks before return to training and also makes a mutually agreeable plan for the first weeks after return to work. Using the pre-return form for guidance, include discussions on the following: whether trainee wishes to attend any return to training activities in the remaining weeks before return to work, formalizing return to work date based on accrued annual leave, including any added from attending RTT activities during this period, and any individual factors which may need to be considered. Planning enhanced supervision period. Please note, it is recommended that a trainee be granted at least 10 working days of enhanced supervision on their return to training. This can be longer if it is felt appropriate and mutually agreed. We need to also consider the rota and supervision that the trainee needs. The trainee should not be on any part of the rota which would mean they are working without senior supervision during this period. For many specialties, this would mean no night on calls or no on calls. It is the responsibility of the training program director or educational supervisor to ensure that medical staffing and rota coordinators have this information and adhere to this plan. It is the responsibility of the TPD or education supervisor to ensure that all clinical supervisors who will be working with the trainee at the point of their return are aware of their requirement for enhanced supervision, and the trainee settles down comfortably and takes over the duties without fear or ambiguity. Supernumerary. As part of the Support RTT initiative, HEE are able to provide funding to employers to support the possibility of trainees being supernumerary for up to 2 weeks. Trainees must organize to meet with their supervisors 3 months prior to their return, so this can be organized by the trust. If you are requesting supernumerary funding, you must document this on Form 4 and send an approved copy to Support RTT West Midlands email and your postgraduate center manager. Now, after joining the post-return form, trainee should meet the education supervisor or college tutor after completing period of enhanced supervision. Using the return review form, this meeting should include the discussion on the following: if trainee had encountered any issues during return to training, if trainee and supervisors feel trainee is ready to work usual duties. Please note, it is recognized that some trainees may require a longer period of enhanced supervision than first planned. This is acceptable providing it's mutually agreed. RTT activities and funding. HEE offers funding to trainees wishing to attend educational activities which will be of benefit to them on their return to training. Guidance on return to training activities, including the application process for the time to undertake the activity, such as kit split and any associated expenses, are explained. HE are able to provide funding for the following: supernumerary, being supernumerary, bespoke courses, travel expenses when attending the KIT days or courses, childcare expenses, and requested funding must be recorded on Form 4 as mentioned, and funding is retrospectively claimed by the employing trust after you have attended the course, and hence you require to send the information to the postgraduate manager and also to copy that into support RTT lead. You need to submit the proof of attendance and receipt for expenses and a copy of your approved Form 4. This is a brief summary of what I have outlined just now, and it's a summary outlining for the planned and unplanned leave and how you would return, how you would plan before taking leave, and the forms that you would complete after joining. And the forms are submitted online, and that would go to the HEE. It's very important for the trainees to be aware that this support is available and it is in place, and it's our duty to share this information at the time of induction in all departments by college tutors, and to highlight at the time of the trust induction too. And this also helps to attend appropriate RTT events in the region or even other deaneries if possible, and to liaise with support RTT lead of the trust where need to be clarified, or to give an outline, or for any additional help or clarifications. Here are some of the links which for further guidance and for any clarifications or further support. I hope this has helped to get a brief outline of what this process is and the support that is available for trainees who are returning to training after an absence, and hope this will increase the awareness amongst all the trainees, and please contact me if needed for anything. Thank you.